Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we will be reviewing this first alert, SA90LT ionization smoke alarm. This alarm has been around since the 1980s till the 1990s. I believe 1998 is when these were discontinued. This alarm features the standard ionization sensor, which is most sensitive to smoke particles from fast-flaming fires. This alarm has a special feature which is a light test, which I'll be demonstrating in a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this alarm's design. Unfortunately, this thing feels kind of cheap. It feels like it could break easily. The plastic is pretty thin. If we go ahead and open this alarm up, you have your standard piezo horn. This is where your 9-volt battery goes. And over here is your plastic ionization sensor. It'd be better to see a metal ionization sensor though. This alarm does not have a visual indicator, which is kind of annoying. But honestly, I really like the light test on it. So honestly, I think that's a good substitute. The battery replacement method is pretty straightforward. Just open up the cover, just pop open the 9-volt battery, and then place your new one in. It has to be placed like this first and then rotated like this for some reason, and then push these in when the terminals until the terminals come into contact, and there you go. Normally this would go through a power up phase, but since there was some remaining power in this alarm, it didn't do that when I took the battery out and put it in. So there we go. That's how to replace the battery. Now we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the both ways to test this alarm. Obviously, you have a standard push and hold to test. And the cooler method to test is the light test feature. Normally, you need an incandescent flashlight to set it off, but unfortunately, I don't have that. However, a TV remote is a good alternative, although it doesn't work as well. When you use the light test feature, you just have to wave it at this button, which causes this little receiver to trip, causing the unit to alarm. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. Since this is a TV remote, I don't have to wave it at the button. I just have to hold it. There we have it. That is the alarm's design reviewed. Now I'm going to be giving it an actual test. I'm going to be testing this alarm with canned smoke. I am not going to be using real smoke as that's going to be way too dangerous to set up. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this alarm on ceiling, and we'll give it a test. Here's the testing setup. This alarm is on the ceiling, ready to go. And over here is my can-up smoke saber, which I'll be using to simulate a real fire emergency. This test will be split in multiple categories as follows. 1 being the number of sprays, and number 2 being alarm response time. This alarm does not have a hush feature, so I'm going to see how long it will take for this alarm to quiet down while I start fanning it out. Let's get this test underway. As you saw, the alarm was able to detect a canned smoke. The alarm operation was good. It detected a canned smoke pretty quickly for a plastic ionization sensor, and it was able to stop sounding shortly after I started fanning it out. This has been a full review and test of the first alert SA90LT ionization smoke alarm with light test. On a rating scale of 1 being the worst and 10 being the best alarm, I'm going to give this alarm a 6 out of 10. Although it's not my favorite alarm of all time, it actually is pretty decent at the time that these were being produced. My only complaints about them is the lack of visual indicator, and it is slightly cheaply built. However, the visual indicator is not a big deal with this alarm, as it has a light test feature, which is a pretty good touch. Other than that, this alarm is pretty nice for the time that these were being produced. And I have seen this alarm or similar alarms at homes before and at small commercial settings, such as apartments and hotels. So yeah, it is okay for the time that these were being produced. So that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this alarm and if you would buy one. And if you want to request an alarm to be reviewed, let me know in the comments. And if I happen to have that alarm in my collection, I'll very gladly review it for you. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you again soon.